Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to try a little leather dyeing. I have this beautiful Chic Sparrow TN. It's the cream leather, it's chocolate cream, and it's very smooth texture. Sometimes they can be very pebbly, but this one is extremely smooth. And actually, I've already done a little bit to it in the sense of it came with white stitching, and I just wasn't loving the white stitching. And even still with the white stitching now brown, I did that with a little marker. Kind of tedious, but it made a big difference. I did that in outside and inside. I've had this for a while, so it's not like in pristine condition, but it's fairly new. But I'm not using it because to me, when I look at it, it just is so flat. There's no variation in color, and I don't know, I'm having a hard time with it. And I have let me grab it. I have another TN from Chic Sparrow that is in the Darcy leather, and see, it's the same color brown, very close to it, but see how it has some aged, it's been rubbed, like I put an aged rubbing on it. And so I'm gonna try to make my cream, because it's so smooth, into this. This is Hemingway from Chic Sparrow, Havana. The color's Havana, it's the Hemingway line. And so I'm going to try to make my chocolate cream, turn it into a Hemingway cream, Hemingway chocolate cream. We'll see how that goes. So I've already removed all my strings, and I'm going to actually start on the inside, but I'm going to get set up here and get my, oh, I'll show you the dyes I'm going to try. I have two dyes. One, they're both Angelus. I'm not sure if that's what it is, how it's pronounced, but one is the light brown and one is the black. I'm going to start with the light brown and see what that does. And if that's not dark enough, I will go to the black. But I also have some makeup sponges, so I'm gonna use one of those and just lightly put some dye on here and just kind of tap around. So I'm gonna get my dye open. I bought a buttered rum in the second chance sales of Chic Sparrow, and it had the old pen loop, and I already had a buttered rum. In the second chance sale, you don't know what you're getting, so I got a buttered rum, and so I experimented with the buttered rum, and I did some of the dyeing on it, and then I kind of did some ink drops on it, but it just wasn't for me. I ended up selling it on the BST, and the person who got it absolutely loved it. And so that worked out all right. I need to grab some paper towels over here. Okay, so I'm going to use my paper towels just to kind of sponge off some of the dye so that it's not like so much dye on here, but just so that I have just a little bit of dye. So I've put a little bit of dye on there. And I'm going to just kind of make sure it's not, see how it comes off so, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be dark enough. So I'm going to try right over here in the corner. Well, I might do this corner because this is the most corner you might not see as much. And I'm just going to kind of tap around the edges to give a, oh, it might actually be dark enough once it's done. I'm taking a little bit of the clean side and kind of wiping it on. So just kind of tapping it, because there's not a whole lot of dye left on here, which is probably good. Hoping you can see that. Yep. I'm just going around the edges, adding a little bit of color, and I'm going to, as I come around here, I don't want to get it on the other side of the tan. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm gonna pause and go do it, because last time I did it, I regretted it. I didn't put gloves on. So I'm gonna pause, go put some gloves on. I'll be right back. Okay, got my gloves. I ride a bike a lot, so I always have gloves on hand to clean my bike chain. So, okay, just back tapping and kind of moving my sponge around so it's not always the same angle hitting the edge. Now I won't really know what this ends up looking like until it's dry, because I'm sure it's darker right now because it's wet. But I'm already liking that it's just kind of just a subtle. I'd grab my other one again to show you, but I don't want to get it. I'm kind of wiping off some of it back into the bottle as much as I can, and then dabbing it on to get most of it off so it's not real wet on here. And then I think I got one little spot right here. Alright, we'll see if that's going to be dark enough. It might be. Okay, so now we're jumping over to the other end. We're still on the inside. Just trying to keep a light hand. The other thing too, this is kind of helping with the stitching, making the stitching colored. A little spot right there. I don't know if I can get that or not. No, I think that's, I don't know what I've done there, but like I said, I've used this TN. I kind of put it away because I just didn't like how flat it looked. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to try. I might try a little over here where it might get a lot of use right there on the pen loop. Okay, I'm okay with that. Alright, so this is the scary part. And I'm going to just start over here, which would be really the bottom corner, but I might have to add more ink. Yeah, I don't think anything's coming off there anymore. I'm dabbing it off till it doesn't look like it's so wet coming off there. And making sure I don't have any on my fingers. Just kind of moving it around. Getting that pen loop. we'll see how this ends up. Once I'm done with this first initial treatment, I'll sit and let it dry and then come back and see if I need to do any more. Because this is kind of, I have to come back over on this side. Well, if I just hit it more than once. Oh, I don't know how it's looking in the, on there, but it's looking pretty good here. I don't like the ones that is such a drastic change, so I kind of like that it's kind of a mellow change, just helping it not look so flat. Starting to pounce a little harder right now because it's doesn't have as much ink on it. Or yeah, leather dye. I mean, this isn't ink, it's leather dye. I did say that right. I didn't say it was ink. Not sure. Okay. Just give it a quick browse here. Definitely like this end better. So I think the more you take off of it, the better. I try, because this end comes in a little more here, so I might try doing that just a little bit more. Coming in to kind of feather it a little bit. And I think I might also try coming right around my center hole there for the spine strap, spine string. Just put a little bit around there. Not a whole lot. I think it's looking really good. And I think that once most of the dye has come off, is a good time to come back in and kind of feather in just a little bit farther in, so you're not getting a whole lot of dye. I really like how that's looking. Now, I don't think this would work very well on the pebbled creams, but a lot of the chocolate creams I've seen are smooth, and this would work on. So I'm going to come back here and do a little bit more. Oh, since this is kind of almost dry, kind of feather this in a little bit more back here. And maybe right here too. Although I kind of like how this is over here. Maybe just a little more, because that would get a lot of use right there. And feather that out a little bit more. Okay. All right. Well, I do think if you were actually using this more, right here on this edge would probably get a lot of. I haven't added any more dye since I went to the back. So we'll see how. Okay, I'm stopping there. I'm going to take my gloves off and just kind of give it one last look and then set it and let it dry. And we'll see. It's up. Okay, let's see how. I still got a little bit of dye on my. That'll wash off though in a few hours. Okay, so I do like that. And let's compare it a little bit to the Hemingway. This is the Hemingway. Okay, they're professionals. You can tell. I might come back here so this side isn't quite so straight and feather that in a little more. I like the bottom though. This, if you're wondering, is an, I can't remember if this is, I think this is Pocket Plus. I think. It's either Pocket Plus or A6. I collect both of those, so we'll see. All right, well, I'm going to let it sit and dry, and I'll be back. Okay, I think it's dried pretty good. I really like how it turned out. I don't know if you can see that really well. Trying to get the morning light here, but I do like it. What I'm thinking I'm going to do though is I'm going to try to bring it a little darker right around the stitch line. I just think it needs a little more variation right there. I'm going to try to do that with the brown first, but if that's not darkening it up enough, then I might switch to the black, which is scary, but I just think it needs a little more depth right at the edges. So I'm maybe not going to wipe off quite as much on my towel, and making sure I don't have any of my fingers. And let me make sure you can see. I'm just going to go right on the edges with just a little more ink. Oh, you know something else I think we should do is do the edge. Well, I'm liking that so far. Hopefully it will continue to stay that dark. I mean, it does tend to lighten up a little bit as it dries. We'll see if that's going to be enough, or if I got to come back with the black. I don't really have to worry about feathering now because I've already feathered. Do a little more right here. And then down here, I may need to add some more because it's, well, it's still coming out. That definitely added some depth. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. But I'm going to come around and do this edge. I think I need some more to do that though, because that's going to need. Okay, so I put a little more on, and I'm not going to take a whole lot off on my rag because I really want to get this edge, and it might be a little more absorbent here. I'm going to try to be a little careful not to get it on the inside. Which I saw I did smudge it there. I don't even remember doing that. And you wouldn't really need to do this part, but I think it might just look kind of funny if all the others is looks like it's been worn, but the edge doesn't. I wonder if they, yeah, they do that on the Hemingway line. This edges looks darker than the middle. Okay. All right, so let's see, what do we have here? Oh, I don't know if I want to continue or try another layer. I do love how it's looking, but I wonder if I'd love it more if I put a little black around the edge. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to sit with it for a while and see. And I'll come back. Okay, well, after much thought and debate, I decided I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of black on my edges. So I've got my black leather dye out. I've put a little bit on a sponge, and I'm just gonna, I only did a little bit because I really only want to have just a hint. And I think I'm gonna try the inside first just to make sure it's, I don't hate it. Just to touch in the edges. Okay, I'm really not seeing any difference there. So maybe I took off too much dye. I learned the hard way not to put caps back on the dye when I was doing the other job, so I always put the caps back on. I have plastic underneath this, like a trash bag, just to protect my surface. Okay, that's a little better. I think I got more on now. And try not to get it to where there's little edges in the from the little makeup sponge here. I think I can see that it's making a difference. Just a touch, and that's really all I really want, is just a touch of difference. Just another brown might have been good enough too. Just making sure I don't have anything on my hands when I'm touching it. That's actually making a little bit more difference over here. I might not have had enough on my, get my little protector thing out here again. Back and do this side again because I might have not had enough dye on there. So I really just want to touch that edge, give the edge a little bit of darkness. Yes, I think I'm going to like that. Okay. Always start here in the corner just to get my feel for it. I'll just put a little bit on the pen loop. I might have to add some more here soon because it's not as visible right now. Take it off, take some of it off. Make sure you don't have it on your fingers. And this one, I don't think it's so important that it looks feathered because this is just going to be a slight edge. Okay. Okay. I really, really like that. Now I'm going to get my gloves off. We can compare it again to my, what I was going for, my Havana. There, I think that black edge helped it a lot. You see that? Okay, wow, that looks really good right there. All right, so it's gonna dry, and then I might add on a, like buff it with my leather balm, just to kind of make sure that the new dye doesn't look dull, because it's looking a little dull right now, but oh my gosh, I'm not so crazy about this flap right there. But you really don't hardly ever see that. That's why I always do that first. But I do love it so much better now. I think I will be definitely put it back in rotation because I haven't been really loving it much lately. I might add a little bit more of this black to my edges. Not a whole lot. Just touching it here and there maybe. Not a solid black, but yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm done. I hope this was helpful to you. Okay, I'm back and it is done. I added some, I rubbed in some leather salve and rubbed it in and wiped it off as much as I could get off, and then so that's done. Now, I also put some inserts in. So I just kind of wanted to give you a look here as a final product. Trying to get it so that the glare is not real strong. This is a Pocket Plus, so I normally put A6 inserts in my Pocket Plus, and they kind of go edge to edge. So these are just cheapy store inserts, and these aren't really, I mean, they're A6 height, but they're not really A6 wide. So, but so here's the inside. Try to make it so you can get a good look at it. And then here's the back side. That's probably my least favorite, but that's kind of where I was learning what I wanted to do. And of course on the pen loop, and then the back side. So I really like how it turned out, but I wanted to show you in comparison my Hemingway Havana. This was what I was trying to go for. Now they are different color browns, slightly, different color leathers. The Havana has a lot more wrinkles in it, and it's a pretty smooth leather, but it's got wrinkles in it. But the cream chocolate has like nothing, and that's kind of why I wanted to do it. But as far as, I mean, obviously Chic Sparrow does a much more professional job than I do, but for my first time, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. So what I'm thinking about doing, anyways, is when I travel, taking the inserts and everything, taking the guts out of this and moving it into this cream so that my Havana doesn't get beat up. I don't really treat them gingerly or anything, but traveling, they kind of might get knocked around excessively, so cream will withstand that a lot better. Oh, I just put a little mark in there. So I'm thinking about doing that when I travel, so it will get some use, because now, before, I mean, it had the white stitching and everything. So before, you know, I was like, oh, I just was not loving it. But now I really do. I really love it. So anyways, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something. If you're new to my channel, which you probably are because it is new, and you haven't subscribed, please do. If you liked the video, can you give me a thumbs up? I'd appreciate it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.